murmured softly in his ear. The AI sounded distinctly worried. "You can't keep pushing yourself like this. You're killing yourself." "This work has to be done," said Owen, sub-vocalizing so those still working around him wouldn't hear. "The Hayden men and the Grendels knocked the shit out of this place. Half the walls down, most of the buildings are leaning on each other for support, and the roof's leaking in 100 places. The lepers can't do it on their own. A lot of them belong in sick beds anyway." "That's not why you're doing it," said Oz. "You're not fooling anyone, you know. All this hard work and toil, working till you drop, it's not for them, for the mission. You're punishing yourself for letting the blood runners take Hazel." "I wasn't there when she needed me," said Owen, staring at the ground between his feet. "If I had been, maybe I could have done something." "You'd lost your powers. You were just a man. There was nothing you could have done." "Work is good," said Owen. "Simple problems with simple solutions. It keeps me from thinking, from remembering. If I stop to think and remember, I'll go mad." "Owen!" "They've had her 2 weeks now. 14 days and nights in the Obia systems, on the other side of the Empire, to torture and torment her as it pleases them. And I'm trapped here with no powers and not even a hope of a ship to get me off planet so I can go after her. They could have done a lot in 14 days and nights." When the Blood Runners first took Hazel, Owen did go crazy for a while. He wouldn't eat or sleep for days, stalking blindly round the ruined mission as the terrorized lepers scattered to get out of his way. He screamed and ranted and called Hazel's name, making horrible threats and howling like an animal in pain. In the end he grew weak enough that Sister Marion was able to wrestle him to the ground and hold him down, while Mother Beatrice injected him with industrial-strength sedatives. His dreams then were vague, horrible things, and when he woke up they'd strapped him to a bed in the mission infirmary. He'd worn out his voice with screaming and ranting, but he still cursed them all in a harsh, rasping voice, while Moon sat quietly at his side, giving what comfort he could. It was some time before Owen got control of himself again, exhausted physically and emotionally. But he never cried. Mother Beatrice came to see him often and offered him the comfort of her God, but he wouldn't take it. There was no room in his cold heart now for anything but rescue or revenge. When they finally let him up again, he spent the best part of a day in the mission comm center, calling for a ship to come and pick him up. Any ship. He used every bit of authority he had, pulled every string, called in every favor he could think of, threatened and pleaded and bribed, and none of it did any good. There was a war on. Actually, there were several wars going on simultaneously. The Empire was under attack by the Hayden men, Shub, Grendels, the insect aliens, and the threat of the recreated. Owen just wasn't important enough anymore to be worth diverting a precious ship to far-off Lacrimae Christi. He'd just have to wait. Owen would have wrecked the whole damned comm center if Mother Beatrice hadn't been there, her eyes full of compassion. So instead he stalked out and buried himself in the rebuilding of the mission. It helped that there was a lot that needed doing. He made himself eat and drink at regular intervals, because if he didn't, Mother Beatrice or Sister Marion stood over him till he did. When it grew too dark to work, he lay down on his bed and pretended to sleep, waiting with empty heart for it to be light again. The rebuilding was slow and hard work now that his powers were gone, burned out in his last stand against the Grendels. He was no stronger or faster than any other man now, and all his other abilities were lost to him. Like the words of an old song he could no longer quite recall. Sometimes, in the long endless hours of the night, it seemed to him that something was stirring deep.